Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the same like here representing TeamJVS. Here you guys another review from TIFF 2025. I'm talking about the 50th anniversary of Toronto International Film Festival. The film I'm going to be talking about here is going to be The Man in the Basement. This was directed by the amazing Nadia, Latif. This cast is really good in this film, but I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. You got Corey Hawkins, you got William Dafoe, Anna DeWeep, and a slew of other amazing actors and actresses. Main character, of course, Corey. Character Charles, he has inherited a house that his mother lived in, but passed. His uncle lived in, but has passed, and now he is behind on his bills. He can't pay his mortgage, and for some strange reason the whole entire town look at him as somebody that is a screw up, that is unreliable, and is really just out for himself. And you can tell very quickly that Charles is very desperate, and he's almost willing to do anything. Then he meets William Dafoe's character, Anniston. Anniston literally comes out of nowhere, almost like he's a curse or a blight amongst the house. And how Anna DeWeep's character comes in is she is a collector that Charles kind of comes into contact with when he finds like a couple different masks that come from his family's history within the house. And unfortunately for Charles, he's trying to get rid of them to make money. But it builds to a very interesting relationship between Charles and Narcissus. But let's go ahead and unpack this. So first off, which was very surprising, this movie plays like a horror movie. Everything about it. It's so strange because the setup in this, a large amount of the time, is things happening in the dark. You don't really know who Charles is as a person. You can tell that he's very arrogant, he's very rude, he gets drunk all the time. He absolutely is unreliable, but when he's in his moments alone, or there's a darkness, or he's in the house, it almost feels like something is literally crawling around at him. It is very jarring at times. Some of the setups and the scares and the eerie anticipations of how things are planning out or plotting out are crazy. You almost feel like this person is being haunted, and it is interesting because I didn't anticipate it. I literally thought this is going to be about a guy going through a realization of himself, going through a realization of his heritage, going through a revelation of this house and what it truly means to accept it and own it. And then you have like William Dafoe character Anniston that is gonna, steer him into a very interesting direction. And all that technically is true, but it is not. Because William Dafoe plays a great role in this because he is at times charming, at other times terrifying. And I think one of the things that works well with any horror movie, even though this is not a horror movie, keep that in mind, is that you don't know what the monster is. You can't see the monster. And there's a lot that you can't see from Anniston as a character. You don't know what his real intent is. You don't know what he's really doing there. And the other part about this that I think Corey Hawkins owns, one of his best performances in this, is that Charles, you don't know who he really is either. And I think it makes for a very interesting conversations and situations. And I think that there's great chemistry between Corey and William. They're back and forth throughout this film, especially the second to third acts of this film, were heartbreaking, terrifying, and borderline like, I don't know where we're going with this. And I think that they played that up to a T. And they own everything that they're in. I think that from a story standpoint, the first act of it kind of starts off kind of slow. It slow burns you into where we're going to go. But once it hits this foundation in the second act, I think it hits a very interesting stride into that horror genre, and it feels like a mystery like kind of situation of and I think that when you get into like the heritage side of things and the ownership and colonialism and also racial discrimination, they take that in a very interesting stride in this film. And I think that it's layers to each one of the different characters, but even more so, they play into those different themes with the horror aspect of the mystery as well. Some of the shots at nighttime, like I do think it was very impressive how some of the scenes they were able to pull off. Some of the dream sequences and nightmare sequences are really well done as well. And I think that more than anything is that they were not ashamed of putting these characters and these actors through it. Like, there's a lot of nudity in this. There's a lot of like very dark and bleak scenes. There's a lot of torturous feeling scenes in this. Like, it feels like real torture that's happening. And when you really get an understanding of what's kind of the man in the basement is really all about also, that in and of itself is a very fine line of jarring and like, do you want to watch this kind of thing? But I do think it is really good. And it is a drama. It is a mystery. It feels like a horror, and it's done very well. And I think that by the time you get to the climax, you get a full understanding of kind of where we were being taken on with this film. But I do think it was really good. I do think it was really good. And I was really surprised how much I really was terrified of it, and at the same time appreciated it for what it actually was trying to do. I'd rest this at a 7.5 out of 10. This is one I don't think you want to miss. Just be forewarned. Like, when it starts going, it goes. And I think that when you get some of the decisions that the characters make, I think that's where it gets kind of hard for me from a con standpoint, not a pro. I just don't know. Like, some stuff, it felt intentionally torturous. It felt intentionally this. But I think that my rating may go up because there's intent there. There's a reason why some of the characters are doing the actions that they're doing, and it's to set up something else. But that's my thoughts on it. We have a lot more content coming from TIFF 50. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, everybody.